Imagine a world where the global shipping industry is no longer dominated by just a handful of Western and Chinese giants. Instead, South Korea is making a bold move to take center stage. But why now? And how does this massive $2.4 billion investment fit into their long-term plan? In the years to come, KOBC will invest in the Korean maritime industry a total of 3.4 trillion Korean won, which is just about $2.4 billion in the year 2025. This is just part of preparing the country for reshaping global trade and not just having bigger fleets to compete, but quite literally putting South Korea in the sturdier position of continuing the industry. This is part of a much bigger, multifaceted strategy for the nation to fortify its shipping sector, which is the lifeblood of an economy like that of South Korea. If 1% of the world's trade is not shipped, then 90% must be. That means that having a much larger market share gives South Korea that much more power over the logistics and routes of international commerce. But then, it also turns out to be strategic survival. After the whole Hanjin shipping debacle in 2017, South Korea has been striving to gain a footing and future-proof its maritime industry. Now with this massive cash infusion, KOBC positions the country for long-term dominance. So how will this transform the shipping business? What challenges lie ahead? So just what is ships trying to achieve with this $2.4 billion investment? It isn't purely investing in new ships. It's about a complete transformation in the industry. It's all about three major pillars: global competitiveness, digital transformation, and fleet expansion.
Since the seventh largest shipping container line in the world, Hanjin is no longer in the picture. A South Korean court finally declaring the firm bankrupt on Friday. The Seoul Central District Court says it picked a bankruptcy administrator, noting any claims by creditors will be due by May 1st. A ruling earlier this month determined Hanjin's liquidation value would be worth more than its value as a going concern and moved to end court receivership in favor of bankruptcy. Whatever remaining assets will be auctioned.
At its very essence, this investment is ensuring a strong position for South Korea's shipping industry at a worldwide level. As of now, a few players, mainly China and a few Western nations, dominate the shipping market. After Hanjin Shipping went bankrupt in 2017, South Korea, once a major player in this industry, saw its influence dwindle. This collapse mustered shockwaves across global trade as it proved that a crippled shipping industry could crash the economy of a country. KOBC now wants to empower South Korean shipping companies so that nothing like that might ever happen again. More importantly, they want to compete with China in the rapidly growing maritime trade arena. This investment will enable South Korean firms to be able to price competitively, provide better logistics, and retain good efficiency, therefore making them a choice selection for global shipping contracts.
South Korea plans to upgrade its shipping and fishing sectors with artificial intelligence and other technologies that are considered pillars of the fourth industrial revolution.
But here's where things get interesting. KOBC isn't just focusing on physical ships. A significant portion of this investment will go toward developing an artificial intelligence AI-based data platform. Why does this matter? Well, modern shipping isn't just about having the biggest fleet, it's about efficiency. AI can optimize routes, predict demand, reduce fuel consumption, and cut operational costs. By integrating AI-driven systems, South Korea is aiming to make its shipping industry one of the smartest and most efficient in the world. This move could also future-proof the industry against supply chain disruptions, which became a huge problem during the COVID-19 pandemic. By using AI to predict bottlenecks and streamline logistics, South Korea hopes to offer a more reliable and stable shipping network, giving it an edge over competitors. Of course, no shipping transformation would be complete without expanding the fleet itself. KOBC has big plans. They want to increase the capacity of deep-sea container ships to over 1.5 million TEU by 2030. For context, this would make South Korea one of the top 5 shipping powers in the world. More ships mean more trade routes, higher cargo capacity, and increased revenue, all of which contribute to the country's economic stability and growth. The investment will also focus on building next-generation eco-friendly ships, aligning with the global push for greener shipping solutions. This is crucial because environmental regulations are tightening, and countries that invest in sustainable shipping now will have a major advantage in the future. With these three objectives in motion, KOBC's investment isn't just about recovery, it's about the long-term dominance of the global shipping industry. But will it be enough to challenge industry giants like China? That's where things get even more complicated. To get a real sense of why South Korea is spending so much money in its shipping sector, you need to hide the big picture. For South Korea, shipping is not simply a business, but a lifeline to its economy. But here's the catch. South Korea has to turn over a lot of its exports without a nationally controlled shipping sector. The great downfall of Hanjin shipping in 2017 shined a bright flash on this. It left South Korean businesses hunting for alternatives that forced them to depend on outside carriers, raising costs as well as making them less reliable. This opened up a very dangerous vulnerability that now KOBC is determined to heal. Re-establishing a strong shipping sector strengthens South Korea's economy and sets it free from foreign carrying haulage on its stable transport costs. Simply put, a strong shipping industry saves the economy from external shocks.
South Korea has launched an ocean business promotion agency on Thursday to boost the flagging maritime industry. Part of the Moon Jae-in administration's policy agenda, the so-called Korea Ocean Business Corporation will try to revive a flagging industry that used to be the backbone of the country's economic growth and job creation. The industry has been reeling from massive job losses and Hanjin Shipping's bankruptcy in 2016. This launch comes just a year after the government first proposed the agency.
KOBC, Korea Ocean Business Corporation, was created in 2018 as a direct response to Hanjin's collapse. Its mission is simple: support South Korea's shipping industry through financial aid, fleet expansion, and technological innovation. One of KOBC's main responsibilities is helping South Korean shipping companies compete globally. Many shipping firms struggle to secure funding for new vessels or modern technology, especially when competing against Chinese companies backed by massive government subsidies. KOBC's $2.4 billion investment provides critical financial support, allowing South Korean firms to expand their fleets and improve efficiency without relying on foreign investors. For South Korea, investing in shipping isn't just about making money. It's about national security and economic independence. The goal is clear: to control its supply chains, compete with global shipping giants, and prevent future disruptions to its trade network. But while the investment is ambitious, there's still a long way to go. The big question is, can South Korea truly compete with industry leaders like China and Europe? That's where the real challenge begins.
Let's move on to other stories now. The nation's shipbuilders are bouncing back up after experiencing some turbulence. By recording the most orders in the world during the first half of 2018, Seoul beat its biggest rival, China, for the first time in 3 years.
That was pretty rough for South Korea, as it made an investment much higher than what the country might be learning. The major high bar back then was set by China, with all the previous victories it had on the fronts of shipbuilding. Nothing seemed harmful to prove that it wouldn't worry about any internal matters, and even competitive outer lines as per media. To make matters worse, the new strains between the US and China only go further, raising the stake for South Korea in what should prove to be a determining position for its maritime industry. Given the whole scenario, pressure has fallen considerably on South Korea, which traditionally carried its head high as a shipbuilding country. South Korean majors like Hyundai Heavy Industries, Samsung Heavy Industries, and Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering still maintain their competitiveness. Tough conditions continue to keep aggravating competitiveness. It is becoming increasingly difficult for South Korean manufacturers to price a loan owing to lower labor costs, government-backed financing, and control of key supply chains involved with China's competitiveness. With an increasing rate of tensions between Washington and Beijing, the U.S. now seeks alternative supply chains and reliable shipbuilding partners that would not rely on China. This is where South Korea fits in. In recent years, U.S. officials have emphasized increased cooperation between South Korea's and American maritime industries in such areas as military shipbuilding, green energy shipping, and advanced maritime technology. The U.S. Navy and South Korean shipbuilders have thus far partnered in several projects, including the construction of naval vessels and next-generation warships. But the challenge is only going to get tougher. The real question is, can South Korea outsmart China and establish itself as a global shipping giant? It is this question that KOBC must now face. South Korea's advances toward capturing the global shipping landscape are still about contest and expansion. It also learns from past failures. One of the landscape appointments in the country's maritime history occurred in 2017, when much debt led to the fall of Hanjin Shipping, which had become the world's 7th largest container carrier.
Port workers are back on the job at Hanjin's Incheon terminal after many refused to come to work over potential lost wages.
The entire global shipping industry was shaken by the bankruptcy of Hanjin. Thousands of containers, stranded at sea, caught a port that would refuse to receive Hanjin's ship, and the maritime country itself would suffer from a bad reputation. Overexpansion, forced debt, and stiff competition from rival state-linked Chinese players capable of underwriting the costs were said to have contributed to the downfall. The collapse exposed critical weaknesses in South Korea's shipping sector, including over-reliance on a few major players leaves the industry vulnerable to a single company's downfall. Limited government support compared to China's heavily subsidized shipping giants. Lack of long-term investment in fleet modernization and digital infrastructure. Hanjin's failure was a wake-up call, forcing the South Korean government to rethink its entire approach to shipping. In 2018, South Korea launched an ambitious 5-year plan to revitalize the industry. This strategy focused on creating Korea Ocean Business Corporation, KOBC, to provide financial support for shipping companies, investing in new fleet expansion, ensuring South Korean companies could compete with China, developing smart AI-driven maritime technology to improve efficiency, strengthening ties with global trade partners to secure stable shipping routes. The year 2023 became a realization of the plan. The shipping industry in South Korea was recovering, with companies such as HMM, formerly Hyundai Merchant Marine, increasing their fleet size and achieving higher freight rates. KOBC has been instrumental in stabilizing the market, ensuring that one single company's failure would never again bring the industry to its knees. By 2030, South Korea expects the shipping industry to produce in excess of over 70 trillion Korean won, 52 billion, from revenue growth driven by increasing the deep-sea shipping capacity so that South Korean companies can compete internationally. Shifting digital transformation aided by AI for logistics to optimize routes and reduce costs into high gear. Building strategic global partnerships focused on Western nations that want to decrease their dependency on Chinese shipping firms. As the world watches its supply chains come under unending pressure, South Korea is widely positioning itself as an alternative to China's maritime power. By the year 2030, South Korea shall have a fleet of greater than 140 million DWT deadweight tonnage, to make it one of the upper 5 shipping powers around the world. This involves increasing the deep-sea capacity of container ships beyond the level of over 1.5 million TEU, or 20-foot equivalent units. Strengthening the shipbuilding industry, spearheaded by such giants as Hyundai Heavy Industries and Samsung Heavy Industries. Long-term securing deals from the world's largest importers and exporters. China still holds a massive advantage in both shipbuilding subsidies and very significant state-backed shipping firms. Yet if South Korea naively succeeds in its 2030 vision, it could end up being one of the strongest global forces in shipping, not just for survival, but driving the industry into the future.
South Korean shipyards won orders totaling 735,000 compensated gross tons in August, accounting for more than 70% of orders placed worldwide. According to data released by the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy, South Korea has now recorded the highest number of shipbuilding orders for the 4th month in a row.
South Korea's investment of $2.4 billion into its shipping industry would not only boost its economy, it aims to use the funds strategically to grab a share of global trade. By expanding its fleet to over 140 million deadweight tons and improving AI-based maritime operations, South Korea gets ready to challenge the market's heavyweights, namely China, and position itself among the top 5 shipping powers in the world by 2030. This investment will generate earnings of 70 trillion Korean won, while allowing South Korea to exert more control over supply chains and become a key player in global maritime trade. The government, via KOBC, is providing sound support. Today, the industry is stronger than ever and better off since learning lessons from past failures, like Hanjin Shipping's collapse, to stake a more stable and competitive future. But will this be enough to overtake China's grip on global shipping? That remains to be seen. What's certain is that South Korea is making bold moves to secure its place in the future of maritime trade. What do you think? Can South Korea outmaneuver China in the shipping industry? Or will China's dominance remain unchallenged? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into global trade and economics.